Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're doing a deep dive into, well, a pretty unique area of watchmaking. We're looking at MeisterSinger's new Kaenos family, and we've got some really interesting details from an article about its launch. So, our mission for you today, it's really to pull out the key bits about why a watch with just one hand is, compelling, and what makes this specific new model, the Kaenos, tick. Why even want to slow down how you see time?
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? Meistersinger, they've been committed to this niche, the single-hand watch, since way back in 2001. They really lean into this relaxed view of time. And the idea is it's not about being imprecise, but maybe gaining a bit of perspective.
Mm.
In today's world, everything's so fast, right? So this intentional slowing down, it's almost like a little detox on your wrist. Helps you focus on the bigger picture, maybe, instead of every single second flying by.
That idea, the bigger picture, that feels really relevant right now. And the brand's founder, Manfred Bracelet, he talks about this clear design language. He believes it speaks to lots of different people, age, gender, doesn't matter. And with this Kanos, it sounds like they want to make that whole single-hand idea even more, well, practical for just everyday wear. But how does that actually work day to day for someone used to, two or three hands?
That's a really fair question. It's definitely a shift, but it's less about losing track and more about changing your relationship with time. And, the details and how it's built, that's where they make sure it's not just philosophy. It's actually like a usable tool.
Okay, and the name itself, Kanos, that tells the story too, right? Greek for new or fresh, which seems fitting because this watch introduces something totally new for Meistersinger, an integrated bracelet. Now, these integrated bracelet sports watches, they've had a massive comeback. So is Meistersinger just hopping on that trend? Or is their take, especially with a single hand, doing something genuinely different in that space?
That's a great point. I mean, yes, the integrated bracelet is a huge trend, no denying it, but I don't think they're just, trend chasing here. This design creates this smooth, sort of seamless flow from the bracelet right into the case. It's a very coherent look. And for a brand that's all about simplicity with that single hand, this visual unity, it kind of reinforces that whole idea, doesn't it? Makes it really versatile too.
Yeah.
Sporty, elegant, it can kind of do both.
That versatility sounds crucial if it's meant to be an everyday piece. Let's zoom in a bit on the design specifics then. The case. You said it's new.
Yeah, developed totally from scratch. It's a 40 millimeter, which is a pretty popular size,
Right.
made from 316L stainless steel, standard high quality stuff. And they've mixed brushed and polished finishes, which helps it walk that line, between sporty and a bit more dressy.
And it's slim too, right? I think I read 11.2 millimeter.
Exactly. Which makes a big difference for comfort, how it actually feels balanced on your wrist all day.
Yeah.
Even the crown, they've apparently redesigned it to be more ergonomic.
Yeah.
Still has that little fermata symbol, the Meistersinger logo, the pause mark for music.
Yeah, the rest symbol. Nice touch for a watch about slowing down.
Right. And it's got 100 meters of water resistance.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's built to be worn, not just admired in a box.
Okay, case sounds solid. But the dial, that's got to be key for a single-hand watch, right? Visibility and just the look.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
And they've done some interesting things here. 4 dial colors to start. A sunburst, light blue, petrol green, gray, and black. Pretty nice range. But the big thing is the sandwich dial construction.
Sandwich dial, how does that work?
So you've got 2 layers. The top layer has cutouts for the hour markers and numerals. And underneath that, there's a layer coated with luminous material.
Ah, so the light shines through the cutouts.
Exactly. Gives it this cool 3-dimensional look, plus it apparently glows really well in the dark. Even the main hour hand, they've tweaked the design slightly. Inspired by old measuring tools, apparently. Keeps it simple, functional.
And inside, the movement. I gather there are a couple options.
Correct. 2 versions of the Kaenos. The standard one uses a Sellita SW400 automatic. They chose it partly because it's reliable, but also its larger size allows for a bigger date window at 6 o'clock.
Right.
But they've designed it so it's like large but doesn't scream date at you. It's quite subtle.
Okay, and the other version, the Open Date.
Right, the Kaenos Open Date. That one uses a different movement, the Sellita SW200. And here, they completely change how the date is shown. Instead of a window, there's this color-matched disc right in the center of the dial that rotates. And a little marker up at 12 o'clock points to the current date on that disc.
Whoa, okay, that sounds very different, quite bold.
It really is a very unique take. Price-wise, the standard Kaenos is listed at €2,650. And the Open Date, that more complex display, is €2,950.
So wrapping this up, what does this Kaenos really mean for you, the listener? It seems like it's offering this fresh, pretty stylish, and actually quite practical way to tell time. It's an invitation maybe to engage with your day a bit differently.
Yeah, I think it really highlights that we have a choice in how we perceive time. It's
Yeah.
easy to forget that in our, always on world.
So here's a final thought to chew on. What part of your own life could maybe use a single hand approach? Where could you benefit from intentionally slowing down, getting some perspective, seeing the bigger sweep, instead of just letting all those seconds rush by?